Serving the people of East Tennessee. WATE 6 on your side midday starts now.
Thank you so much for joining us here at Midday. I'm Lexi Spivak. We start with breaking news. WATE 6 on your side is beginning to get reports from utilities about implementing rolling blackouts. This is TVA is asking people to conserve power in the face of bitter cold winter weather. So here's what we know right now on the list so far: Oak Ridge Electric, Sevier County Electric, and Appalachia Electric Cooperative. So how long would these blackouts last? The answer, it depends based on your utility. Oak Ridge Electric, for instance, is saying about 2% of Oak Ridge Electric customers will last for about 30 minutes for those rolling blackouts for that cooperative there. But we're told Appalachia Electric's blackouts will only last 15 minutes in the Rutledge, Oak Grove, Jefferson City, and Piedmont communities. We're also getting an update from KUB. The utility is not announcing a blackout. Instead, it is saying customers will likely experience temporary outages due to, quote, extreme demand on the electric system. KUB officials add that, they're waiting for an update from TVA. So, of course, we'll keep you updated. But we do want to take a look at the current KUB power outages in our area. Look at that pretty colorful screen right there. Right now, we are climbing up close to 20,000 KUB customers without power. The exact number, 19,825 on the map right there. You can see the larger clusters in those larger red and purple dots there. Of course, we're going to keep an eye on this number throughout the day, throughout this newscast, and continue to bring you updates. And as we're learning all of this, we do want to go to our Assistant Chief Meteorologist, Victoria Cavalieri. Victoria, you have been tracking power outages as well, and you started to see the numbers go up across certain areas.
Yeah, about an hour ago, Lexi, I started to notice a pretty sharp increase in some of these power outages. Now, of course, overnight, we dealt with some really gusty winds, and that contributed to the power outages. Many locations during the very early morning hours were seeing some power out. But this is a look at our map right now. Looks like Knox County still having a little bit of difficulty there updating. As you heard Lexi say before, it's closer to about 20,000 people without power right now in Knox County, but places in Sevier County also seeing some power outages. And again, as Lexi mentioned, it looks like they're turning off the power for some people in order to kind of restore the grid.
And with the frigid temperatures, one group in Blount County, they're stepping up efforts to help people on the street with nowhere to go and get warm. Right now, an overnight warming shelter is open at the First Baptist Church Family Life Center. And that is where we find 600 Sides Wes Cooper. Wes, how are things going there? All right, Wes, thank you so much. Looking beyond Blount County now, several other warming shelters have been set up across our area. Knox Area Rescue Ministries, they're putting out the white flag today. That's a signal for people with nowhere else to go, telling them that Carm's doors, they're open and ready to offer help. The city of Knoxville is also putting up a warming tent at the Salvation Army on Broadway in North Knoxville. The warming tent will have light and heat. It opened last night, and the city says it will stay open until Tuesday morning. TDOT crews, they are putting in work to keep people safe on the roads. Yesterday, TDOT crews pre-treated the roads with brine ahead of the drop in temperatures. Then last night, TDOT salt trucks were out monitoring routes in case problems came about during the overnight and early morning hours.
It's kind of a perfect storm situation. It's the first winter weather event that we've had in East Tennessee, and it's also Christmas week. Hopefully some folks have gotten out of work a couple of days early and have already been on the roadways. We've already seen our interstates and state routes very busy over the past couple of days already, and we expect it to get busier here in the hours to come.
And TDOT says it's best to just stay off the roads if you don't need to be out on them. Of course, we thank those workers and all of the linemen out there as well. We are already seeing some roads closed because of this, and the National Park officials say that the Foothills Parkway West, Newfound Gap Road from Gatlinburg to Cherokee, North Carolina, and Little River Road from the Sugarlands Visitor Center to the Townsend Y are all closed at this time. Also, Laurel Creek Road at the Townsend Y is temporarily closed. That means right now there's no access to Cades Cove. Meanwhile, Lenore City Utility Board also alerting customers that they will be implementing 15-minute rolling blackouts system-wide. And we are just hearing from the TVA and the authority asking businesses and people in the community alike to reduce as much power use as possible right now without, quote, sacrificing safety.
It's not until the middle of next week that we finally notice a slight thaw. We're at 48 degrees on Wednesday and 54 by Thursday. Mainly dry next week, except for the chance for a few snow flurries on Monday.
Victoria, thank you. The current KUB power outages in our area, the highest number I believe we've seen today. Nearly 26,000 KUB customers without power at this time. That would be just about more than 12% of KUB's total amount of customers. Also want to note here on their webpage, they say we are currently in storm mode. Estimation of outages and restoration times are best guesses, but we also want to note that this is partially due to rolling outages as they have announced. Of course, we'll keep an eye on this number, but just under 26,000 customers without power. And moving on here, we want to take a look at some of the storm travel impacts. It's not just East Tennessee dealing with the winter weather. The storm impacting Americans across the country. Life-threatening cold temperatures are sweeping the nation, and the weather is crippling holiday travel of millions of Americans. And that what could be the coldest Christmas in decades. ABC's Ika Jachi has more.
This weekend, Lexi, even into Christmas and Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, both days going to be chilly. We're only at 23 degrees. Tomorrow is our high, 28 for Sunday. Gradually, we'll see a little bit of a slow thaw for the start of next week. But tonight, temperature readings fall back into the single digits with those feels-like temperatures likely below zero. So make sure you stay warm. We're going to stay weather aware through at least tomorrow morning.
All right, Victoria, thank you so much. Of course, the entire storm team keeping us posted. Remember, we're going to keep you up to date on those rolling outages on the air and online. Thank you for joining us.